Hello friends, and welcome to today's video. In this video we are going to look at how to correctly answer English comprehension passage questions. The English language WAEC paper consists of 3 parts, namely essay writing, comprehension, and the literature aspect of the paper. The comprehension aspect of the English paper carries 30 marks. This means, in order to pass this paper, you should be able to score meaningful marks in the comprehension part of the English language. But the sad thing is that many students find it difficult to answer and pass the comprehension part of the WAEC English language, not because they are dumb, but because they lack skills in answering the comprehension part of the paper. In this video, we are going to see the quick steps on how to correctly answer English comprehension questions in Waec and Neco examination. Quick steps on how to correctly answer English comprehension questions. If you are looking for a simple steps and tips on how to answer English language comprehension paper correctly, then below are some of the quick steps on how to do that. 1. First, read the questions before the passage. When the question paper is given to you, before you start the comprehension part of the question, first go down to the question aspect of the comprehension and read them before you begin to read the main passage. Doing this will give you clues of the areas to focus much on once you start to read the main passage. 2. Read the full passage at least 2 times and underline the relevant information. It is always advisable to read the full passages, understand and focus much on what's required of the question by underlining the various key points. This will help easily locate the answers to all the questions asked from the passage. 3. Read the questions again to make sure what you have underlined are correct and can suit the demands of the question. Once you are ready to answer the questions, you can read the questions below the passages once again to make sure you have actually underlined the right answers to each of the questions asked. This is to ensure that you've not underlined the wrong answers or have not interchanged the answers to the various questions. 4. Pick out the major answers in the passage as instructed by the question. Most of the questions asked comes from the passage, and the examiners expect you to answer based on what's written in the passage. Do as instructed. Do not bring answers which are out of the passage. Try to limit your answers to the passage. Once the question instructed you to pick your answers from the passage, if you haven't seen the answers from the passage, doesn't mean that the answers are not there. It means you have not read and understand the passage well. So always try and understand the passage. There you will see the answers to the question asked. 5. Always remember to keep your answers short. Do not prolong your answers to the passage. Most of the answers that come from the passage are usually short and must be written as seen from the passage. Do not try to add what's not in the passage because you want to make your answers long. Keep them short and simple and easy to understand. So now let's look at this passage and see how to answer this passage. So this is the passage. It says that read the passage carefully and answer all questions which follow. So let's begin with the passage. The academic performance of students in the olden days was golden. Students knew the essence of education and make efforts to achieve excellence. Reading whatever material they came across not only helped in their mental development, but also made them self-reliant and confident. Students burned the midnight oil in order to make good grades and come out of school as better people. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said of students today. Whatever students achieve in the past is considered archaic. The emergence of improved technology has bedeviled society. Students prefer staying in touch with their friends and loved ones. The use of social media such as Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, and Instagram has taken over their entire being. Reading useful materials like dailies, storybooks, and others is now a thing of the past. The negative influence of social media has deprived students from achieving excellence. Examination malpractice, mass failure in examination, and bad language have become the order of the day. Modern technology has its own benefits. In addition to serving as a great tool for businesses, it enables students to access information easily. What is more, it enables easy interaction between friends and loved ones. As much as these are important, students should realize that without good moral practices, education, and reading, the future remains blurred. Students can eradicate the negative effects modern technology has on them if only they remain focused on their academic work. Now let's look at the questions that are being asked after reading the passage. 1. State 2 benefits of reading mentioned in the passage. B. For what 2 reasons did students study late into the night in the past? C. State 2 benefits of modern technology. D. How can students get rid of the harmful influence of social media? E. Explain in your own words. Explain in your own words the following expressions as used in the passage. I. Burn the midnight oil. I. Taking over their entire being. I. The order of the day. F. For each of the following words, give another word or a phrase that means the same. I. Golden. I. Excellence. I. Archaic. Ivin. Bled. Vin. Eradicate. Now let's look at the answers from the questions above. A. The question was that state 2 benefits of reading mentioned in the passage. The answer to this question can be gotten from the first paragraph of the comprehension. As mentioned in our checklists, always try to underline or bold the answers as you read along. So going to the first paragraph, you can see that we've bolded the answers to this question. And the answer to the above question is that reading helped in their mental development. 2. Reading also helped in self-reliance and confidence. So let's go to the passage and see where we had these answers from. So when you come to the passage, from the first paragraph, that is when you come to after the first sentence, no, after the second sentence, the third sentence says that reading whatever material they came across not only helped in their mental development, but also helped make them self-reliant. So as you can see, we have bolding the helped in their mental development and self-reliant and confident. So this is where you can get your answers for the question A. So now let's go to the next question. B. For what 2 reasons did students study late into the midnight in the past? So going back to the passage, still under the first paragraph, you can clearly see the answers for this question. The answer can be located at the very end part of the paragraph 1. So let's go back to the paragraph or to the passage and then see what we are saying here. So at the last sentence, students burned the midnight oil in order to make good grades and come out of school as better people. So this is the answer to the B. For what reason do students burn the midnight oil? In order to make good grades and come out of school as better people. Now let's go to the question C. State 2 benefits of modern technology. The answer to this question can also be found in paragraph 5 at the very beginning of the paragraph. This can easily be seen only if you went through the passage with much attention. So the answer to the above question is modern technology serves as a great tool for businesses. And modern technology also helps or enables students to access information easily. So let's go back to the passage and see where we had our answers from. So we say the answers can be found in paragraph 5 at the very beginning. So let's go back to the passage. So when you come to paragraph 5, it says that modern technology has its own benefits. In addition to serving as a great tool for businesses, it enables students to access information easily. So once you are reading your passage, make sure you read with much attention. Always underline those answers that you see can fit the requirement of the passage. So in this case, we have bolded those answers so we can easily locate them when we come back. In your case, you are in the examination hall, so it is good to always use your pencil to underline those words or those sentences that you see can suit the requirement of the question. So now let's go to question D. How can students get rid of the harmful influence of social media? Here, you can locate the answer from the last paragraph of the passage. And the answer is students can eradicate the negative effects modern technology has on them if only they remain focused on their academic work. So now let's go to the passage and see where we had our answers from. We say the answers can be found, or the answer can be found at the last paragraph of the passage. So now let's go back to the passage. So this is the passage, and this is the last paragraph and the last sentence. Students can eradicate the negative effect modern technology has on them if only they remain focused on their academic work. So as you can see, the answers are boldly written in this passage. Now let's go and continue with the other requirement of the question. Explain in your own words the following expression as used in the passage. The explanation for these words is straightforward if you read and understand the passage very well. So from the passage, below are some of the explanations to those questions, or to those words. 1. Burn the midnight oil. This means students are staying up very late in order to study. Taking over their entire being. This means it has become part and parcel of them, or has taken control over them, involved or included in their lives and cannot be separated from them. So all this can be an explanation to the above sentence or expression. And this can also be deduced from the passage. The order of the day. The order of the day has to do with something that is very common at a particular time. So let's go to the passage and see those expressions so that we can fix this meaning in the passage and see whether it matches. So looking at the last sentence of this first paragraph, students burn the midnight oil in order to make good grades. How? So the question you will ask yourself once you are in exam hall is this: how can people, or how can students make good grades? And obviously what should come in your mind is that you must stay in the nights and study hard. So that is where we had the answer to the above expression. So now let's look at the other expression, taking over their entire being. From this passage, the second paragraph, the use of social media such as Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, and Instagram has taken over their entire being. Reading useful materials like dailies, storybooks, and other is now a big thing of the past. So has taken over their entire being, meaning it has control over them. They cannot do without them. So that is where we had the meaning for this expression, taking over their entire being. Now let's look at the final expression, the order of the day. From the first paragraph of this passage, we can see that the passage says, the negative influence of social media has deprived students of achieving excellence. Examination malpractice, mass failure in examination, and bad language have become order of the day, meaning it has become common. Everyone is doing. So if more people are failing, the current students also fail. It has become the order of the day. It has become common. So mass failure has become common in the system. Likewise, examination malpractice has also become common in the system. So that is what this expression seeks to tell us. It has become the order of the day. Now let's continue with the answers. So now F, it says that for each of the following words, give another word or a phrase that means the same. First, golden. Second, excellence. Third, a cake. Fourth, bled. And fifth, eradicate. So the meaning for these words can also be deduced from the passage. But if you can't get this, you can use your common understanding and get the nearest meaning for these words. So golden can be replaced with glorious, flourishing, booming, and success. Let's go to the passage and see whether we can fix any of the meanings in the passage at the place where we see golden. So let's go back to the passage and see whether we can fix this over there. Okay. Golden. The academic performance of students in the olden days was glorious. So you see, when we fix the glorious in place of golden, it has perfectly suits the sentence. The academic performance of students in the olden days was glorious, was flourishing, was booming. So as you can see, those words can be fixed over there. Now let's look at the next word, that is excellence. So excellence can also be replaced with outstanding, marvelous, magnificent, and superb. So let's go back to the passage and replace any of these words at a place where we see excellence. Students knew the essence of education and made efforts to achieve excellence. So now let's take marvelous for instance. Students knew the essence of education and made effort to achieve marvelous or excellency or outstanding. So when you look at those words, they can also be fixed at a place where you see excellence in the passage. Now let's continue with the other wording. So a cake. A cake can also be replaced with obsolete, out of date, very old, and old-fashioned. Let's go back to the passage and fix these words in the place where we see a cake. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said of students today. Whatever students achieve in the past is considered a cake, is considered obsolete, is considered out of date, is considered old-fashioned. So as you can see, those words can also be fit at a place where we see a cake. Now let's continue with the rest. Bled. So bled can be also be replaced with unfocused. Now let's go back to the passage. As much as these are important, students should realize that without good moral practices, education and reading, the future remains bled. The future remains unfocused. The future remains undetermined. The future remains doomed. So all this can be replaced in the place where we see bled. So those are the meaning for this word in our own words. Now let's look at the last word, that is eradicate. Eradicate. So eradicate can also be used. Eradicate can also mean get rid of, eliminate, do away with, and remove. So now let's go back to the sentence or the passage and see whether this words or sentences or phrases can be replaced at the place where we see eradicate. So the last sentence, students can eradicate, students can get rid of, students can remove the negative effects modern technology has on them if only they remain focused on their academic work. So as you can see, eradicate can also be replaced with get rid of, removed, eliminate. Students can eliminate, students can remove, students can get rid of. So here, as you can see, those words can also rightly fit the eradicate. So now let's take a quick recap of how to answer the comprehension passage. Quick steps on how to correctly answer English comprehension passages. 1. First, read the questions below the passage. 2. Read the full passage at least 2 times and underline the relevant information. 3. Read the questions again to make sure what you've underlined are correct and can suit the demands of the question. And 4. Pick out the major answers in the passage as instructed by the questions. And the final part is always remember to keep your answers short. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you are new to the channel, and also if you find something useful from this video. And don't forget to also leave a like, share, and leave your comment if you have any. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.